When you're working on changing your nutrition habits or maybe your exercise habits or maybe a combination of both, it's really important that we focus on things that have nothing to do with the scale or numbers. I know I've talked tons of times about how you shouldn't be weighing yourself because obsession over that number can lead to a whole slew of things, potentially like disordered eating or a full-blown eating disorder. But also, I don't want you to focus so much on measurements and size either. Your goal behind changing your nutrition habits and your exercise should be for internal health and the other areas in life that are improving because of those change in behaviors, as opposed to a focus on only numbers on the scale or measurements or whatever it might be. I was reading a survey earlier about all of the nutrition habits that people tend to adapt. And of course, one of the biggest things on that survey was what people's goal was in changing their nutrition and their exercise. And the top answer was, of course, weight loss. But I want you to try to focus on these other behaviors in life and other impacts in life, because that's going to help you stick to something more long-term as opposed to a short-term, quick weight loss. I'm just going to do this, lose the weight, and then go back to my old ways. Now, the main things that I really want people to focus on are actually some stuff that I've talked about recently, which is hunger, making sure that your hunger is consistent and that you're listening to your hunger and your fullness. Cravings, meaning you should not have consistent cravings for carbs and sweets all day, every day, or particularly in the afternoon and evening. Your energy should be consistent and sustained throughout the day. Oftentimes I ask people, how would you rank your energy on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high? And by 10, I don't mean like bouncing off the walls, you have so much energy, you're like, all over the place. I just mean that it's really consistent. You don't feel like you need a nap every day and it lasts all day. You want your energy to be like an 8, 9, or 10 every single day. Another one that we don't talk about often is actually sleep. Many times people's sleep can be impacted from either not eating enough or eating too much. Your body can kind of wake you up at night because you're hungry or because it's trying to digest food. So I want to talk about a case study that I think is a really good representation of why we shouldn't focus so much on the numbers and we should focus on these other behavioral changes and lifestyle changes that could be improving and see how that impacted this person. So this person here, this is their body composition, and before coming in to see us in June of 2018, this person was trying to eat only 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day. And when I say trying, what I mean by that is she was logging her food, and many days she was only eating 1,000 to 1,200 calories, but of course she was starting to get really, really hungry. And so what would happen is that as the days went on, she would end up way overeating. So for example, to be a little bit more specific, maybe what we would see here is that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she did actually only eat 1,000 to 1,200 calories. But then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, she would eat like 3,000 calories because it just got to the point where she was so hungry, she couldn't ignore those cravings and that excessive hunger from trying to restrict her calories so low before that. So I wanted to clarify that because that obviously was not sustainable for this person. And using that trajectory of trying to restrict her calories that low, this person was really frustrated with not seeing any sort of weight loss on the scale. And that's what triggered her to come in and make an appointment with us. So she came in June. And this is her body composition, of course. Her weight was 175.3, and she wanted to see weight come down. And so we did her resting metabolic rate test. Her resting metabolic rate was right around 1,400, right about where we predict it to be. And when we calculated her total daily energy expenditure, remember that's how many calories this person would need total in a day. It was about 2,050 per day, right? So we said, you know what? Even with a calorie deficit of about 300-ish, your intake should be 1,700 calories a day, and I don't want you to go below that. Now, she was like, well, I can't do that. That's way too many calories. I'm going to gain all this weight. And so we had a conversation about why that 1,700 is still a deficit and all of those things. And finally, she was able to get to 1,700. So she started eating 1,700 calories a day, and she started noticing her energy was so much better. She didn't have that 2, 3 o'clock feeling that she was going to crash. Her hunger was much more consistent, and she was noticing that she wasn't getting starving, particularly at the end of the week or even just the end of the day, and she wasn't over snacking or feeling like she needed to go out and get, I don't know, burger, fries, and wings because she restricted herself for so many days. And her intake was so much more consistent every day of the week. So that was excellent. So energy had improved, hunger was a lot more consistent, she wasn't having cravings, and with sleep, her sleep had always been pretty decent. It wasn't like she was getting terrible sleep, but she even noted that her sleep seemed better. She was waking up more rested. So all of those kind of lifestyle behavior change, things that impact life, opportunities that we want to pay attention to, all improved for this person. But look at her body composition. As you can see, from June to October, her weight was only down a little under 6 pounds, right? And this she found really, really frustrating. She thought that this was way too slow and that she would have thought that at this point she would have lost 20 pounds in this 4-month time period, even though she had increased her lean mass and lost only fat. Because she was so focused on the numbers, she wasn't happy with this progress. Now, I don't say this to criticize this person in any way, shape, or form. I'm only pointing this out because, again, what we have been told in social media and online and by doctors or whomever, right, is that it's all about weight. It's about decreasing weight, it's about getting a smaller size, and it's about looking a certain way. But this person became so focused on just those numbers that the numbers outweighed all of the other positive changes she was seeing in life from changing her nutrition and her exercise. And unfortunately, this person stopped coming. She thought that the weight loss was way too slow and that she wanted it to be faster, and she stopped coming. Again, not a criticism. I just wanted to point this out because if you're looking to make a long-term change with your exercise and your nutrition, it's really important to focus on other things outside of the scale, because that's what's going to be your motivator to keep going on, as opposed to focusing on a number that may go up when you thought it shouldn't or something like that. So hang in there, you can do it. Keep up that great work with eating enough, fueling your body well, and doing movement that you love. Thanks for being here, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.